Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Sisters blog. It's Angie and Michelle again. We're talking about nutrition like we promised. And this time we're going to talk about labels because we said in our last blog post that we were going to go into it a little bit and describe what you should and how you should read a label. Okay?
Yeah. So there's a lot of confusing things that can happen when you're reading a label. There's a lot of claims that are made at the front of a package. So when you ever see a claim that says low fat or no sugar added, you always want to turn it to the nutrition facts panel. And that's where you're going to get the best information. And we're going to show you a picture of this a little bit bigger so that you can get a good understanding. But basically, you always want to look at the serving size. Now that's important, Michelle, because sometimes we say, I'm going to eat a bowl of cereal and milk, but what is the serving? It could be a cup. Is it half a cup? Is it 3/4 cup? And then the label is going to tell you per serving what the calories are, the grams of fat, the fiber, etc.
Right.
That's
so it's deceiving because you think that you're eating, let's say, 1 cup, but in reality, the serving size is for like 4 people. So
exactly. And that's where a lot of people make a mistake.
Exactly.
When they're looking at the label. And also, whenever something is canned in a jar, you always want to look for the sodium. So if it's a vegetable, baked beans, or maybe like a pasta sauce, you want to see how much sodium it has per serving as well.
Right. So you determine if it is for 1 cup, are they telling you for that 1 cup or are they telling you for 4 people?
Exactly.
Because it could be triple the amount of sodium that you thought.
Right. So it could be really tricky. Another thing I like to always tell people is when you're looking at their serving size, sometimes it'll tell you a cup, but other times it tells you like a gram or an ounce by weight. But we don't have those kind of scales at home. So how are we supposed to determine that? Well, it also tells you right under the serving size, the servings per container. So that will indicate if something has 2 servings per container and you eat half the package, then you know you've had 1 serving. So it's another way to kind of feel out what the serving size is.
Okay. So is there anything else before we show you guys we're going to do another clip that's going to actually point out things on an actual label so that you guys can clarify what you're looking for in the actual label.
Exactly. And always read the ingredients. Sometimes there can
ingredients
be
are super important.
Words in there you don't understand, and that's a good indication that it's probably a lot of chemicals or artificial, preservatives and things that they put in there. So if something says whole grain or wheats or something at the beginning, that's more what's in the product. If a serving is more at the end, an ingredient, then there's less of that in the product. So it's another little trick to use.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next video.
Yep. Okay, so here's the nutrition facts panel. One of the most important things to look at is the serving size. In this example, it says 1 cup or 248 grams, and then servings per container 4. Sometimes you don't have something as easy as it says a cup or half a cup. It'll only tell you grams or ounces. So that's why it's a good idea to always look at the servings per container. And if you eat this whole container, you have to multiply everything times 4. As we go a little bit lower, here it tells you the calories per serving. Remember, this is for every for every 1 cup in this product, it's 150 calories. And there's also 4 grams of total fat. Under the total fat, you're always going to have saturated, and sometimes you'll see the unsaturated and trans fats. Then we have cholesterol, sodium, and total carbohydrate, and protein at the very bottom. Just a little tip. How much fat do you really want in your product? There's a little trick that I teach my patients. For every 3 grams of fat, no more than 100 calories, and that'll give you the right proportion. So 3 grams of fat for every 100 calories is a good amount. In terms of sodium also, it'll tell you in milligrams, and that's something that you want to make sure you're not overdoing 2,000 milligrams per day. And then the total carbohydrate is included as part of the fiber and the sugar. We had said earlier in terms of the fiber, you want to have at least 3 to 4 grams of fiber per serving. This could be in cereal, it could be in anything, rice or pasta, any kind of whole grain that you're truly looking for fiber. And that is going to be part of the total carbohydrate. Sugar is another tricky thing, which we're going to do, I think, a whole other blog post on sugar, so we're going to get more details. But in terms of the label, the sugar is part of the total. So in this product, 17 grams is sugar. So basically all the carbohydrate here comes from sugar. And you want to make sure you're not overdoing the sugar, especially added sugars. Now, if this is a fruit or like a yogurt that has naturally occurring sugar, then that's not such a negative thing. It's just the added sugars you want to be careful with. Then it tells you your grams of protein. At the very bottom, it tells you a little bit in terms of the daily value, and this could be very confusing for some individuals. So unless you really truly understand this, and maybe you have a chance to meet with a dietitian to explain it, these percentages can be very confusing because it's based on consuming these amounts of calories at the bottom. So last tips, look at your serving sizes, how much you're going to consume. Remember, calories is per serving, and try to have 3 grams of fat for every 100 calories, lower than 500 milligrams of sodium, and at least 3 grams of fiber.
Well, this is the closure. Angie, thank you so much for giving us that information. I think that's going to be great for everyone out there. And if you have questions, you're welcome to leave a response in our post on the site. And until next time, because we have more things to talk about that we will come up with.
Definitely. And remember, practice reading your labels.
Yes, take your time. When you go to the grocery store, you can look it through, see what the ingredients are, because it's important what you eat.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Till next time.